No, I'm not dead. I've just had some rough weeks studying about ligands, denticity, and the Charade effect. But now I'm free and alive from the experience. And now I'm ready to make new and exciting videos headed your way very soon. My name is X2, and I'm sure you've heard of the term elite cars in Asphalt Legends. But what are they and what makes them special? Elite cars are simply the top 5 highest ranked cars in each class. And here's the thing, they're not set in stone. As Gameloft keeps dropping new cars with higher ranks, the elite list keeps shifting every few months. So in today's video, I'll be going through all 25 elite cars across every class, but not just listing them. I'll be ranking each class's cars against each other and more importantly asking, do they really deserve to be called elite, or are there other cars that should take their place? Remember, these rankings are based on my own experience and opinions, so if you disagree, let me know in the comments. I'll be checking them out. Alright, let's dive in. Number 1. Elite D Class. Each class has 5 elite cars, and we'll start at the bottom, which is D Class. Here are the current contenders: the Kimera EVO37, the Ford Mustang Mach E1400, the DSC 10's Performance, the Glickenhaus 004C, the Volkswagen Electric R. I'll run through them quickly before we decide who actually deserves the elite status. At 5th spot, I'd put the DSC 10's Performance. Honestly, I'm not a fan of this one. I unlocked it during its Grand Prix rerun, but I was pretty disappointed. It's supposed to be a beefed up version of the regular DSC 10s, but honestly, I'd take the original over this any day. The acceleration feels faster than the stats suggest. Top speed is fine, nitro is low, but the handling absolutely kills it. Corners feel awkward, and drifting it is a nightmare. In 4th place, I'd put the Ford Mustang Mach E1400. This one suffers from almost the exact same problem. Decent speed, average acceleration, slightly better nitro, but again, the handling is just trash. It's genuinely painful to drift. Mine's at 5 stars, thanks to multiplayer grinding, but still no key. Classic Gameloft event management at its finest. But now, I know that it's going to be coming in the B95 special event, so I'll probably unlock it then. In 3rd place, I'll put the Volkswagen Electric R. Now this car is interesting. Some players actually use it in Gauntlet because of its amazing acceleration, but the trade-off is the lowest top speed so far. Nitro is solid, drift radius is manageable, but it has this weird shudder while drifting, like it can't decide whether to grip or slide. Feels like this car is having an earthquake mid-race. In number 2, I put the Glickenhaus 004C. This one's more balanced, acceleration is low, but top speed is solid, handling is better than the previous cars, and nitro is manageable. It just feels more dependable overall. And finally, 1st place belongs to Kimera EVO37, in-game and on this list as well. No surprises here, the EVO37 is the undisputed king of D class. And honestly, it really deserves this. Well-rounded stats across the board, strong handling, great top speed, reliable acceleration, and nitro. It just dominates the rest of the lineup. Now, do I actually agree with the official elite cars? Not exactly. If I had to pick my own true D-class elites, here's what I'd go with. I'd put the Kimera EVO37 as the king, like it is in the game. But at number 2, I'd put the Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo Evo. Then, I'd put the Glickenhaus 004C. Then the Volkswagen Electric R. For my final elite car, I'm kind of undecided on this one, so I'll let you guys choose in the comments. Drop your pick for the 5th spot down in the comments. I want to see what the community thinks deserves the final elite slot. Number 2. Elite C Class. Moving on to C Class, the current elite cars are the Nissan Z GT4, the Ferrari Daytona SP3, the Mercedes AMG GT Black Series, the Ferrari 296 GTB, and the McLaren GT. Let's rank and break them down quickly. In 5th spot, I'd put the Ferrari 296 GTB. Stats-wise, it's solid, but just like some D-class elites, it can't drift to save its life. Gameloft seems to have a weird obsession with giving elite cars horrible drifting, and this is another example. If you're cornering hard, expect frustration. This car might be featured in the free section of the Spotlight Pass of the upcoming Black Friday season, so be on the lookout, you may be able to unlock this car for free. In 4th place, I'd put the Mercedes AMG GT Black Series. This suffers from the same problem as the 296 GTB. Stats are good overall, but drifting still hurts performance. Not as bad as the 296 in drifting though, in my opinion, so it lands here at 4th. At 3rd place, Ferrari Daytona SP3. Yep, you guessed it, it has terrible drifting again. The speed is slightly better than the cars above, which is why it beats them, but otherwise it's more of the same problem. In the 2nd spot, we have the McLaren GT, finally with some normal drifting. The McLaren GT earns its spot mainly for handling. Speed is decent too, faster than the Mercedes AMG GT Black Series, which makes it the best of the mediocre here. And in first place, I would say the Nissan Z GT4 deserves that. It's the king of C-Class, and even if I rank them against the other elite C-Class cars, it still deserves the number 1 spot. Nissan Z GT4 is not the fastest car in its class, but it has well-rounded stats, and the drifting, while slightly wide, is manageable compared to the others. Truly deserving of the top spot given the rest of the lineup. But here's how I'd rank the real top 5 C-Class cars. Interestingly, I would put the Porsche Panamera as the king, not the Nissan Z. In the number 2 spot, I'd put the Lamborghini Gallardo, then I'd put the Nissan Z GT4, and finally, in number 4, I'd put McLaren GT. For the 5th spot, again, I'm kind of undecided on this one since I don't really have all of the top C-Class cars. So drop your thoughts below what you think can be the 5th actual elite car that we can say is definitely the 5th best car of C-Class. Number 3, Elite B-Class. B-Class, in my opinion, is the second most enjoyable class to play with. It has a strong lineup of elite cars including the Lotus ER9, the Lamborghini Temerario, the Lamborghini Revuelto, the Pagani Huayra R, the Volkswagen W12 Coupe. Let's rank them based on how I actually feel about the performance. At 5th spot, I'd put the Pagani Huayra R. This car has great top speed, solid acceleration, decent nitro, but its handling ruins it. Drifting is sloppy and you lose too much speed in corners. Another case of a GameLoft's weird obsession with giving elite cars bad drifting. In 4th spot, I'd put the Lamborghini Temerario. This one's powerful across the board, acceleration, top speed, nitro, all impressive. But once again, drifting and handling drag it down. Honestly, it's getting repetitive seeing so many elite cars with this problem. And many people don't like this car because this was the exact car that kicked the McLaren F1 LM out of Elite B class. So yeah, people do judge this a lot more than the others. In 3rd place, I'd put the Volkswagen W12 Coupe. I recently got this golden from the Mayhem event it had. And the W12 Coupe is a solid and competitive B class car. Handling is excellent, top speed is really good for B class, and it's a pleasure to drive. But low acceleration and nitro make it slightly tricky for beginners. If only its nitro was a bit stronger, it could be easily number 1. In 2nd spot, I'd put the Lotus ER9. I think the Lotus ER9 is overhated too much. Like, I was watching this one video where the guy actually put this as the worst key car ever. And while I do agree that it has flaws, I don't think that it's that bad. Yes, you can say it's overranked, but still not that much that you can hit on it so much. The Lotus ER9 is a beast when it comes to acceleration, blistering off the line, and its top speed is solid too. Handling is good, but nitro can be a bit tricky, and its pancake shape makes it prone to flipping if you clip walls. So stay careful here, and it's a smooth ride, but if you hit a wall and you're doing unintended gymnastics. In 1st place, I'd put the Lamborghini Revuelto. The Revuelto takes the top spot in Elite B class if you rank the cars within each other, but honestly, I'm not thrilled with this choice. It's well-rounded with decent stats across the board, but the nitro can be slightly challenging, and nothing here truly blows the other contenders away, which is the issue. Like, I'm having to put the Revuelto at its number 1 spot if you compare it to the other cars. And really, if you are seeing the list right now, the Revuelto should not just be an alright car, especially if it's better than its competition. The ER9 has the physics issues, the W12 Coupe has low nitro and acceleration makes it tricky for beginners, and the Temerario and Huayra R have drifting issues. Now, if I were picking the real B-class elite cars, here's how my list would look like. I would put the McLaren F1 LM as the undisputed king. Then, at number 2, I would put the Volkswagen W12 Coupe. Number 3, I would give to the Lotus ER9 because again, I think this car is good for B-class and it's overheated for no reason at all. Other than its physics issues, it's like pretty good. At number 4, I put the Revuelto. And at number 5, surprisingly, I would put the Zenvo TS RS. I think that the other cars around this segment, like the Evija, the 911 GT3 RS, the Sesto Elemento are good cars, but I think that the Zenvo TS RS is just overall a better car, and that's why I would really put this as an elite car on my personal list. Number 4, Elite A-Class. A-Class is easily my favorite class in Asphalt. The cars here are insanely fast, but not so fast that you lose control every time you tap the nitro. There's a sweet spot between raw power and precision. Here are the current elite cars of A-Class. We have the Mercedes Silver Lightning, the Mercedes Vision 111, the D Tomaso P72, the Ferrari 499P Modificata, and the Lexus Electrified Sport Concept. Let's see how they actually stack up with each other. At 5th spot, without a shred of doubt, I would put the Lexus Electrified Sport Concept. This car suffers from horrible drifting and handling, like hit every single wall in existence levels of bad. It's wide, so you really have to manage the turning, and also it loses a lot of speed rapidly. Its speed and acceleration are great, but the nitro, another disappointment. The real question is, why does this car even hold an elite spot with stats this weak? Perhaps I'll touch on that later in the video, so stick around. At number 4, I would put the Mercedes Silver Lightning. On paper, this car looks like it should dominate A-Class. High top speed, strong acceleration, great handling, and solid nitro. But in reality, it's full of issues. The front tires don't turn at all, so drifting feels clunky and awkward. It's also a really grounded car, which means no floaties, so you'll lose a lot of speed in corners while others zip past. Getting back to top speed isn't instant either, since the nitro isn't all that powerful. It can dominate in the right hands, but it demands skill. For that reason, it will sit at number 4. This might be a controversial take, but I'm placing the Ferrari 499P Modificata at number 3. I might be biased here because this car is a personal favorite and totally underrated. Sure, its top speed isn't amazing, but the acceleration, handling, and nitro are all really good. It's basically a Honda on steroids. On twisty tracks, it dominates everything near its rank, and I've personally beaten S-Class cars with it. Experience doesn't lie, so it earns its spot fair and square. At number 2, I'd put the Di Tommaso P72, a car that barely anyone talks about, but honestly, it deserves more attention. It doesn't really have any major flaws. Everything about it is well-rounded across the board. If I had to nitpick, the handling doesn't feel quite like 75.24. It's good, but not as sharp as the numbers suggest. Aside from that, there's not much to complain about. Smooth, stable, and dependable. The P72 quietly earns its place near the top. And finally, at number 1, the best elite A-Class car right now would be the Mercedes Vision 111, the former king of A-Class. Think of it as a beefed up version of the Di Tommaso P72, but with slightly worse nitro that's easily forgiven once you feel its raw power. Some players complain about the drifting. It can feel a bit odd, but personally I think it's smooth once you get used to it. Like the P72, it's a well-rounded machine with no glaring weaknesses. Solid acceleration, great top speed, and dependable nitro. It absolutely earns its spot at the top. While the elite A-Class lineup doesn't truly have any bad cars, it's far from perfect, especially when you look at the Lexus. So what are the real best A-Class cars? Here are my personal picks. At number 1, I'd keep the Mercedes Vision 111. At number 2, I would put the Pagani Imola. Number 3 would see the Jaguar XJR9 sit comfortably with its insane speed. Although it has low acceleration, you just have to master it to get the best out of it. At number 4, I'd put the Di Tommaso P72. And the 5th spot, I'd put the Aston Martin Valhalla. Really, at this point, I can't really say anything about the B95, the Pininfarina B95. But on paper, it looks to be good. But based on what I've seen from the official test drives from the content creators, the car does have slightly stiff handling, but again, we'll know for sure on Wednesday. So that's why I've not included this in the rankings or on my list of the best A-Class cars. And finally, number 5, Elite S-Class. We're on to the big leagues now. Elite S-Class, home to the 5 highest ranked cars in the entire game. These machines demand precision and skill to master, especially since all of them suffer from low nitro efficiency. One wrong drift and you're done. The current Elite S-Class lineup is the Arash Imperium, the Razor Tartarus, the Devil 16, the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute, and the Bugatti Bolide. Let's rank them. At 5th spot, I'd put the Razor Tartarus. Nothing about this car justifies its massive 5,285 rank, other than its raw speed and acceleration. Sure, the top speed is impressive, but maintaining it, that's the real nightmare. On paper, the acceleration reads 91, but according to players who tested it back in December 2024, that power only kicks in after you hit 300 km per hour. Below that, it feels slightly sluggish. Its acceleration is awful, on par with the Devil 16, and while the handling is sharp, you lose way too much speed while drifting. The nitro is weak, making it difficult to recover momentum once you slow down. For a car that costs this much, you'd expect something refined and dominant, but the Tartarus feels more like an unfinished prototype. That said, there's a slim chance it's been silently buffed, just like the Lexus Sport concept was. We'll only know for sure the next time it's made available to the public. At 4th place, I'd put the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. The Jesko Absolute is a monster, fast, sleek, and undeniably powerful, but also one of the most unpredictable cars in asphalt. Its top speed is fantastic, acceleration is above average, but the nitro efficiency is low, and handling takes serious practice to master. The Absolute also has a strange mechanic. If you maintain a straight drift, the car accelerates like crazy. That same effect works while wall riding. You can actually refill your nitro bar surprisingly fast this way, but that while drifting behavior makes it hard to keep control. The turns are wide and maintaining top speed through them is a constant struggle. So while it's a beast in the right hands, its unpredictable nature keeps it from ranking any higher. 4th place feels fair for this untamed powerhouse. At 3rd place, I'd put the Bugatti Bolide. Now this one's tricky. The last time the Bugatti Bolide appeared was during the Drive Syndicate 9, and many people thought it would be coming in the Black Friday burst of speed, but it isn't. Back during the Drive Syndicate 9, I was still new to Asphalt and playing on touch drive, so my experience wasn't ideal, but I still remember how it felt. Stat-wise, the Bolide shares the same top speed as the regular Jesco, paired with very high acceleration and excellent handling. What's the problem then? Its nitro is one of the lowest in the game. You feel it every time you try to recover from a drift or regain speed after a knockdown. Because of that, the Bolide stays in the Elite S-Class are likely numbered. With the new Drive Syndicate car coming in the Christmas update, don't be surprised if it's the next one to get kicked out of the Elite list. And number 2, we'd put the Devil 16. The Devil 16 demands serious skill to tame. Skills I unfortunately don't quite have right now. When it first dropped, it was completely broken. Nothing could touch it. Then came the nerf, that had lost some of its edge. Even so, the Devil remains one of the most overpowered cars in Asphalt. It's still the fastest car in the entire game, with well-rounded stats and crazy floaty physics that help it retain an absurd amount of speed in the air. The downside? Its air acceleration is terrible. Take ramps carefully or you lose all that speed in seconds. Finally, at number 1, the newest beast in the garage, the Arash Imperium. In my opinion, this car feels perfect. Both pros and beginners can handle it and still get incredible results. It's smooth, fast, and fun to drive. The Imperium combines insane acceleration with the Jesco Absolute straight drift mechanic and adds floaty stability plus sharp cornering. It's honestly flawless in my eyes. Hard to imagine anything topping it. Though knowing Gameloft, you might not have seen the limit yet. My personal S-Class ranking would include the Arash Imperium at number 1, the Hennessy Venom at number 2, the Devil 16 at number 3, the Jesco Absolute at number 4, and finally, the regular Jesco at number 5. Coming to an end of this video, I'm sure you've noticed something. In my list of the best cars from each class, not all of the elite cars actually made the cut. Why is that though? Well, in theory, elite cars should represent the best of their class, the fastest, sharpest, most dominant machines. But in reality, that's not always the case. Sometimes it's just how Gameloft sells average cars to us players, hyping them up as elite to make us spend our hard-earned resources on vehicles that, in most cases, aren't even better than their predecessors. Take the Tartarus for example. It's not a great car, yet it replaced the Venom F5 in Elite S, or the Temerario. That one kicked out the McLaren F1 LM from Elite B. With the Pininfarina B95 on the horizon, we can only guess how it will perform based on the test drives from the content creators. On paper it looks solid, but so did the Lexus BEV concept, and we all know how that turned out. Hopefully the B95 actually earns its elite status instead of just riding the hype. And that wraps up for today's video. I know it's been a while since my last upload, but now that I'm finally done with exams, I can focus on bringing you guys more content more often. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe, drop a like, and tell me in the comments whether you agree with my rankings or not. I'll be reading all of them. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.